So tonight I wanted to read some more money rules by Chatzky. So part 3 is avoid most debt. Some financial experts believe that all debt is bad. Some even call it evil. I am not one of them. Without debt, I would never have been able to buy a house or car. I know many people who never have been able to afford college. In my book, pun intended, debt is a financial resource that you need to learn how to use wisely. Follow these rules, and even a credit card becomes a useful weapon in your financial arsenal. Rule 26. Just because someone will lend it to you doesn't mean you should borrow it. This is the lesson of every unfurnished McMansion from Maine to California. Shout out to Maine because that's the state I'm living in. Rule 27. Good debt is usually cheaper. Good debt is debt that gets you something important: the roof over your head, the car you drive back and forth to work, a college education. You can often discern it from bad debt, not just because bad debt is uncured for things you don't incurred for things you really don't need and sometimes don't even really want, but because the interest rate will often be both lower and, in the case of a mortgage, tax deductible. 28. Even good debt isn't free. A debt's real cost is an opportunity lost. When you take on a new monthly payment, even one at a low interest rate, you're making a commitment against your future income, often for a very long period of time. What could have done with the $423 a month you spent on a second car? Over months, not much, but over 60 months, that's more than $20,000. Committing to debt prevents you from taking advantage of the other opportunities that may come your way. You want to take a lower paying job because you love it. That's tough to do with a new second car sitting in your driveway. 29. Use your emergency saving for emergency. The refrigerator goes kaput. The plumbing in the basement springs a leak. You need a pricey medical test that isn't covered by insurance. These are emergencies, which is why I'm always amazed that people with emergency cushions panic and put these expenses on their credit cards. Use a cushion. Replenish it when you're out of the woods. Rule 30. Every birthday, check your weight and your credit score. One should go down, the other should go up. Guess which? Granted, both should stay level if they're already good. It is important to understand how vital your credit score has become. It is now considered an important barometer of how responsible a human being you are. It will be used to decide, do you get the car loan or the apartment or the job? Do you pay a decent rate for homeowners insurance or credit card, or do you pay up? For those reasons, it's imperative to protect your score by doing all of the things that positively affect it. Pay your bills on time. Don't use more than 10 to 30% of your available credit. Don't apply for new cards willy-nilly, and don't cancel cards you're not using. The longer your open accounts are in good standing, the better your score. Also remember, looking at your report and finding items that look unfamiliar could mean identity theft. Check one report from each of the 3 credit bureaus for free each year at annualcreditreport.com. 31. Don't borrow more for college than you expect to earn the first year out of school. Parents, listen up. Your kids may be irrational about this. They may have dreams of being the journalist or computer programmer or paralegal who sets new records for entry-level salaries. Don't allow your kids to borrow more for college than they expect they will earn in the first year out of school. I know, as a parent of 2 teens, that requires asking 17 and 18-year-olds what they might do when they graduate college, which is a pretty impossible question for most to answer, but it argues for being conservative in the amount of debt you and they take on. Even lawyers aren't earning what they used to. Rule 32. Your retirement trumps their tuition. You know when you're on an airplane and they always tell you put your oxygen mask on first before assisting a child? Saving for long-term financial needs is the same. If you don't save for your own future first, you won't be able to help your children when they need it. Worse, they may be forced to help you just when they're trying to put their own kids through school. There is no financial aid for retirement. There is plenty of financial aid for college. Don't feel guilty about this. 33. The Joneses are in debt. Remember this. If you look at the averages, chances are those people down the block, the ones you envy, probably aren't doing as well as you think. In the U.S. alone, an estimated 115 million people have credit card debt. Of them, the average household is carrying $15,799. In a study published by the National Bureau of Economic Research this year found that about half of Americans would be unable to come up with $2,000 if they needed it in an emergency, meaning they have no cash cushion or savings to get them through a bond. In other words, there's a good chance your flashy next-door neighbors have some flashy debt to match. Bottom line, unless you've taken a look at the books, don't assume to know anyone's financial situation except your own. Make your own lifestyle and purchasing decisions based on what you can afford, not what your peers are buying. And instead of coveting thy neighbor's cars, try to feel smug about your fat retirement account, your 0 credit card balances, and the car you own free and clear. So that was all of part 3. So I'll try to do some more out of this book at some point. So hopefully you found some value in this and keep checking back. Thanks and have a good night.